Hello all and welcome to Wayne's Allotment. I want to start with a couple of thank yous. I want to thank all new subscribers. It is very much appreciated, and I'm glad you're enjoying my videos. Long may it continue. And I've got another thank you, and it's something I would have thought about myself, but for some unknown reason, not this time. I've got a big thank you to my mate Nigel, Muddy Boots. You will remember in my last video I did the potatoes in buckets and I showed the compost. In fact, I've got some here now, and again, there's, you know, I mean, this is really nice stuff. And he suggested to me about sieving some and using it for sowing seeds, and I've done it in the past, and for some unknown reason, I don't know why, I never give it a thought. When I think I was that focused on just getting the compost, doing the potatoes, and that was it. So this morning I was going to go round to the allotment. It's 16th of March today, and I was going to go round to the allotment and do some work round there, but when I got up this morning it was raining, and at the moment now it's very fine drizzle, but I have been round, as I say, because I've been and grabbed another bucket of, or 3 parts bucket of my compost, and I've also topped the bird feeders up. So what I'm going to do is, yes, I'm going to sieve some of that to do some seed sowing in, but I've got some other little jobs. I've got, remember me with my basil, how I'd split it up into these various pots, and even the very small stuff I put into a little pot. This was sown 5th of December, so that's a day or two ago now. So what I'm going to do with all of this, I've potted some on, and it's in the house on the window ledge in the kitchen. What I'm doing with all this here, I'm going to pot it into big pot like that and do the same, put all them together and put them on the window ledge in the house. Also, another little job that I want to do, my basket of fire chilies, chili peppers. These are the last of the peppers that I've got to pot on. I did say when I did my others how small these were, and these are now, I mean, that's, you know, looks quite healthy to me. They do, they look really nice. Roots just starting to pop through, so I'm going to get and pop them on. That's another job I'm going to do, but my main thing, I've got some other seed sowing that I've got I've already done, but I'll show you what that is that I've been doing. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoy. And before I start babbling, which I'm starting to do, I'm going to get and sieve some of this compost, and I've got some seeds that I want to sow, so we're going to get and sow them into this compost. Just putting this through a little seed sowing sieve that I've got. It's looking good stuff, this. It is looking good. We'll do a little bit more. And you put in small handfuls. Big stone there, we don't want that. All this that I tip away when I've sieved and the bigger pieces, I put them into a bag an old compost bag, and I take that round to the allotment, add that to my compost bins, or just put it direct onto any of me plots, or any of my beds, should I say. I think there's enough there for what I'm gonna do, and that is, that's as you can probably tell, I'm quite impressed with this. That's a good idea, Nigel. Well, the proof will be in the pudding, of course, but I'll bring you back and just show you what it is that I'm going to sow. Right, that's the seed that I'm going to sow. It's been left soaking overnight, and it is, he says, knocking the label off, Mia lobata, exotic love. I've grown this before. It's a lovely flower. Starts, as you can see on the picture, you've got that nice yellow at the very bottom, then as the flower stalk itself comes up, changes to red. Really nice. It's a climber, but yeah, it's I say I've done them before. So what I'm going to do is, I've had the seed soaking overnight, so I'm going to strain that, and then I'm going to, he says, there's one. I'm going to use one of the, well, you'll see what I'm going to do. Right, I've drained the seed off. It's all in the bottom of there. I'm going to use one of these small seed trays with this sieved compost. Just pat that down a little, not too firm. We'll get these seeds out of here one way or another. He says there's about 3 come out. I'll try and space these few. Right. That's better. Just a few more there. There's only about 30 seeds in a pack, so I want to try and get, there we go. Right, we'll just space some of these out a little now that I've got everything out. That's better. We'll just pat them down just a little bit over the top. It's quite moist, this compost, but it will get watered again, because I'm going to put this into my heated propagator. Label, never forget the label. There we go, and that's those done. Now what I'm going to do as well, I've got as I've said, I've got my basket of fire to pot up, and I'm going to use this compost to pot these up in, and we'll see how they go. In fact, what I'll do is I'll pot a couple in this, and I'll pot a couple in me clover multi-purpose, and we'll see. Do a bit of an experiment to see how they grow. So there we have it all. That's the Mina Lobata in my own compost, as you've seen me do. I've put all the basil into one big pot. I will get and sow some more of this, I think, because daughter uses it more than anybody, but always worth having some in. So that's gone into one big pot. Put that down there, and then I'm left now with the basket of fire. These two are in normal compost. These two are in my own from round on the allotment. I haven't got a pen on me at the moment, but I will get and mark these up, because we all know what happens. At the moment I can tell which is what by looking at the compost. Give it time, it's all going to look the same. So I'm going to definitely get and mark these up so that I know that they're in my own homemade compost. So that's a little bit more seed sowing and a bit more potting on done. I've got a little bit of something a bit different for you now. In a previous video I've shown you a little bit of equipment I use to basically to shred all the kitchen waste before I go and put it into my compost bins on the allotment. I've shown you the actual piece of equipment, but I've never shown it sort of working and what a good job it does. So without further ado, I'll set you up in the kitchen and we'll get and blitz some kitchen waste. Right, this is the little food processor that I've got. That's the motor unit with two, I don't know whether you can see, but you've got two speeds. You've got the lid, and then we've got the all important blades. It's all stainless steel. What I'll do just for now is I've got some potato peelings that I'll just, behind you here I've got some a bit of a scraps bin. I'll just put that little bit in for now. Get the lid on. Now the one thing that you've got to make sure you get right, there's two lugs there, and then there's four lots of lugs. If it doesn't sit down right and press that little pin up, it won't work. It's as simple as that. So you've got to turn this round to get it to sit. And as you can see, a bit of a, there we go. That's it. Right. That's that. And there we go. I know, as you would expect, it's a food processor, so it's going to do, but that's shredded all that up into there. What I then do with all of this, I tip this into a big bucket. It's a seed bin for the bird feed, and I put that in, but I have eggshells. I've started now drying out the tea bags, but it does a really good job, and it doesn't matter what it is. Any of the peelings, and that's all really nicely chopped. I'll show you some more when I've done some eggshells. Now in there, that is eggshell. All shredded. Let's just take that out before I slash my fingers open. But that's all the eggshell, all done. I don't separate, I keep them separate before I shred them, but they all get put, that'll all get put in with the potato peel that you saw earlier. The tea bags, although I've dried them out, the reason I'm drying them out is to separate the bags from the tea, because I think there's, I don't care who says what, there's got to be a little bit of plastic within the tea bags, so I don't really want to put that on the plot. There we go. I'll give it a, when I've finished, I'll give it a good clean out. There is a little spatula that comes with this piece of kit, but yeah, that's it really. That is, I shall carry on now going through. I've got carrot peelings and potato peelings and all sorts to go through here, so I'll get and sort these all out, get it all shredded up, try and do a little bit at a time rather than trying to put too much in, and when it's all finished I'll show you exactly what it's all like when it's in this big bucket. Right, this is me now just adding the tea, tipping out tea bags. The bags will go into the bin. These have all been dried out, as you can see. See how? And I'll just put the lot all in together. It's all going to get mixed when it goes into the compost. So I just put it all together now, mix it all up as it is, and that will go in. I've got loads to go in. I never realised just how much tea I drink till I started doing this. But you get the gist of what's what. We'll give that a mix. This is the little spatula that comes with that food processor, and I'll just mix that all in, because this, a little bit later on, this is going round to the allotment to go into the compost bins, along with some shredded paper. That, funnily enough, as I'm doing this, my wife's sat in the front room shredding some paper. And that's true, that is. I've not made that up. That is true. Right, but that is the gist of basically what I produce now. This, I've got some broccoli stalks and things like that to put in here. At the moment it's a lot of potato peel at the moment, but I've got some stalks to go in. So next time you see all this, I'll be round on the plot and adding it to the compost bins. In my last video you will have seen me using my own compost for growing my potatoes in buckets, or for growing some of them this year. And that that came out of this one here. There's probably only about quarter full now. This one is 3/4 full. It's not going to take much more to fill it. So I thought I'll show you some of the process that's involved, or shall I say what I do to fill my bins. I have got an extra bonus ingredient, and that's some potash. There's been a bonfire on our site over the last few days, and I've helped myself to some of the ash from it. So we'll start off with a bit of shredded paper. So that's a layer of shredded paper. Right, I've got shredded paper in there. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of manure. I would, if needed, because this manure is quite moist, I'm not going to bother, but I would water that shredded paper when I put that in. But as I say, because this is fairly moist, this manure, this is going in. There'll be some other wet ingredients going into this. I want to try to fill this up now and leave it, because it's basically, because this is now basically full. Right, we'll leave that at that. It's nicely spread out. I've then got in here this is my kitchen waste that I've shredded. You've seen me shredding that. And this is the paper towel that the tea bags were lying on to dry out. So I'll put that in as well. So we'll tip that in. I'll just spread that out. As you can see, that's fairly moist. We'll then put, because I've got it, put a little bit potash, removing all the nails. That's partly why I'm adding this by hand, so that there's anything like a strug nail in it, I can take it out. So that's that in there. I've then got some spent compost. That will go in. I've got 2 buckets of that, so we'll put both of those buckets in. These are the buckets that add my tomatoes in. I'll take some of this root out, but not all. And that is basically it. That's quite full. I might just put a little bit more manure. I'll have to go and get a bit more manure, but I might just put a bit more manure to that. So that's another one, another bin filled up, and can be left now till back end of the year for putting out on the plot. Well, that's it for this one. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I always get back to any comments, so please leave a comment. and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra a bit.